Let's go. Come and get me, motherfucker.
Sweet. Okay. So we have Dylan Black on. We're going to talk about Halloween Ends. 4 years after the events of Halloween Kills, Laurie is living with her granddaughter Allison and is finishing writing her memoir. Michael Myers hasn't been seen since. Laurie, after allowing the specter of Michael to determine and drive her reality for decades, has decided to liberate herself from fear and rage and embrace life. But when a young man, Corey Cunningham, is accused of killing a boy he was babysitting, it ignites a cascade of violence and terror that will force Laurie to finally confront the evil she can't control once and for all. Okay, so I'm going to say off the top, this is a spoilers review. So if you haven't seen the
All
movie,
spoilers.
stop right now and go watch it. Stop before this because I already told you too much about it. Go check it out. Okay, so starting from the top, Dylan, on the list of franchises, where does Halloween rank for you?
The list of franchise, like just slashers in general.
Yeah. I mean, where's Halloween on your list of like
Oh.
favorite franchises?
That's my number one.
Okay, same here.
My number
Same
one
here.
slashers. Yeah, Halloween. Michael's my guy.
Okay, and Oren, you're more of a Freddy guy. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Freddy's pretty great. I'm a big Freddy fan.
Yes. Okay, so Halloween has been my favorite franchise. It was the first. They're some of the first horror movies I ever saw, and to give me night terrors straight up. I still remember vividly some of the dreams that I had when I was a kid, hiding from Michael Myers in my house. It's horrifying. So I am a big Halloween fan. And I have officially seen all of the movies, even all of the obscure sequels from the 90s. I've seen them. So yeah, I like the movies. I like Halloween. So how do you guys feel about Halloween Ends?
I went into Ends expecting. I just went in with not just low expectations.
Sure.
I just went in expecting something to happen
Sure.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not the biggest fan of Kills, although we did a double feature last night, and I actually liked Kills a little bit more the second time.
What? I still haven't seen it since I saw it 2 times last Halloween season. But yeah, I need to watch it again this year with, in the light of Halloween Ends being right after it.
Right. I wondered if Ends was going to make me like Kills more, but that wasn't the case. I just happened to like Kills a little better the second time around.
Yeah.
And then I felt like Ends really hardly connects to the other two at all.
That's what I was about to say. Like, I was waiting for watching the Ends.
Yeah.
Like, there's like barely any connective tissue to the previous two movies.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't feel like a trilogy at all. It just feels like 3 movies made in sequence because Halloween Ends is just so bananas and out of nowhere that I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I had said last night that it's the most disjointed trilogy I've seen since the Star Wars sequels.
Yeah.
They just made 3 movies and said this is a trilogy.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's the same creative team for all 3 movies, but on this third one they just decided to do something different.
It feels like they didn't plan this trilogy at all.
Yeah.
It was like it literally feels like they had the ending, which was Laurie fighting Michael, and they're like, well, we need a movie though. So what should we do? And then somebody was like, I mean, it'd be cool to add like this kid who's kind of wants to start killing people and turns into the next Michael Myers, and they're like, I guess like we'll make it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So go ahead.
I was into the Corey stuff was the best part of the movie for me.
Yeah, totally.
I loved all of that.
Yeah,
and I kind of thought that he was gonna kill Michael.
Okay,
that's what I thought too. Yeah.
And I kind of thought that he would sort of like become him or like become as powerful as him.
Fans would rage if Laurie didn't have the final blow.
Yeah.
Fans
Absolutely.
would lose their mind. So I mean, for their sake, I'm glad that it didn't happen. It would have been more interesting, and a more, I don't know, out of left field if they did that. But
Yeah.
how they ended it, I thought was, satisfactory from a fan's point of view, for sure. But yes, I agree. Corey was the best part. And this one, I feel like is better for me as a fan than Kills. I still like the 2018. It could have ended, it could have been its own thing, and it would have been a
Mm.
great sequel as far as like Halloween sequels go. I didn't need two more movies. But I was telling Dylan about this earlier that I feel like this movie, the whole Corey Cunningham storyline, could have been, it was like what Jamie Lloyd should have been,
Yeah.
but they were cowards and they didn't go on with that
Mhm.
storyline. But also like a Tommy Jarvis, he was so messed up after, killing Jason Voorhees in
Yeah.
part 4 that he should have grown up to be the next Jason
Mhm.
Voorhees, but he wasn't because they're cowards and didn't go that route. So it feels like they were like, what if that had happened and this town forced this kid to be the next Michael Myers? Like what would happen? And that's
Yeah.
kind of what we saw here.
Yeah. The Corey stuff, it felt like just a nod to the what is that, the Mark of Thorn or whatever, the curse in the
Okay.
later Halloween
Yeah. I
movies,
forgot about that.
where it's
Yeah.
like Michael Myers is just like a demon, transitions power or whatever, and like
Mhm.
he's like
Evil
not a person or
incarnate.
whatever.
Which
Yeah.
one is that? Is that
So
Curse of Michael Myers?
I think
Yes.
so. Like the
Mhm.
later movies before like
Yes.
Resurrection and whatever. But
95.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, it felt like that this was like the most like kind of made that kind of canon or like nod to those movies by like
Yeah.
when he's like in the sewer drain and like Michael grabs him and he's like looks into his eyes and like whatever.
That was so good. Favorite part.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
All of the weird, just
yeah,
Michael chilling in a sewer drain and then grabbing
For
him
4 years.
yeah, yeah.
and then just like looking him in the eyes. And
Just
Mm.
going out at night and just like snatching people up and dragging them in and
he's
eating
a
them, I
he's a
guess. How is he surviving? I don't get it.
he's a vampire in this movie. He's like
Yeah, straight up.
pulled away and he
He retains
seduces
his
someone
strength
to
by
his
killing
dark side.
people. Yeah,
He's Michael Myers slash Pennywise is basically literally what he is. Like he lives in
yeah.
the sewers. Come on. He lures people in. Come on.
Penny Myers.
All those missing people. Come on.
Pennywise.
That means something, even though they didn't explain
Yeah.
it at all in the movie. Uh, but yeah, man, I thoroughly enjoyed it. What were some of you guys' favorite parts?
Definitely when Corey goes full Michael Myers, like steals his mask and is wearing a jumpsuit and works those
Yes.
band
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
those bully
Those
band
band
kids.
geeks.
You get the real it reminded me of the end of Christine, or
Uh-huh.
the flaming car scene in Christine.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Them all down.
Uh-huh.
God, it was in that, what was that, like a junkyard or
yeah.
something?
Junkyard, yeah.
And chases them all down and runs them down. Oh my
Yeah.
God! I just watched Christine last week again, so it's like it
Love
was
that
super
movie
fresh in my
so
head.
much.
So
Yeah.
all of that stuff really popped.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I watch that one every year, and I read it almost every year as well because I freaking love that book so much because it's just
So
so
good.
like I feel like it was written to me because it's like it's a killer car. It's so stupid, but it's awesome at the same time. It just oozes cool. And so the fact that they use that inspiration for this movie, I'm like, this is like my two favorite, horror franchises, I guess. This
Yeah.
is not a franchise per se, but they even gave Corey's last name Cunningham, an homage to Arnie Cunningham from Christine. So I thought that was really cool.
Oh.
Yes. But yeah, the fact that he went ham on those band geeks, that was pretty cool. I was in
Yeah.
band, so I've met those kids before. No, I was like, I'd like
one
to
of my
have them
favorite
too.
things was the title card and everything with the blue text,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Season of the Witch text.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize that
good.
until later because I've never seen Season of the Witch. So, but noticing the parallels, like that's cool. Like
Yeah.
I got a little. I try not to get ahead of myself. I got excited for a second. I really thought, because I'd heard the movie was out there.
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
was like, oh man, is this gonna connect? And then the blue text popped up,
Yeah.
and I was like, I
Yeah.
really think it might, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. Glad I didn't get my hopes up.
Yeah.
told myself no hopes for this movie.
I feel like they went with the font just so they were telling the viewers like, hey, just a heads up, we're gonna disappoint you guys. And Michael Myers, like he was promoted in Halloween season of the witch, is really not gonna be in this movie very much. So I feel like that was the blue font. At least that's what it told me. So
Yeah.
I thought it was cool that Michael took the back seat in this one, and just kind of hid in the shadows. I thought it was strange that he kind of just followed Corey around and just like was like his mentor slash backup if he needed it, and Corey needed it, so he came in and we got some kills from Michael
together
outside.
was dope.
Yes, it was awesome.
Couple favorite parts were Corey standing outside, Laurie noticing him standing outside, like Michael. Oh,
yep,
so good.
Yes.
God, and then what was the other one? It was the opening scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lord, my jaw dropped to the floor.
Yes,
that was
dude,
terrifying for multiple reasons.
Yeah, I mean, as parents, we get that. I was like, oh, this hurts so bad. And then for a second, I was like, he meant to do it. He meant to do it. But no, it was a complete accident, and it helped create the monster that he became.
They did a great job making, his getting so anxious and kicking down the door seems so justifiable. Like they made that scene very creepy. So much so to the point where for a few minutes after that, I kind of wondered, is this going to come back around? Was there something wrong with that kid? Was he weird?
Yes.
It was just scary enough that, I would have felt like kicking the door down as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so objectively, as a filmmaker, as a writer, I could see that this movie was a mess. Main thing that was a mess for me was Allie. That the writing from her character from 2018 and Kills, she was just a completely different person. I realized the time jump, the 4-year time jump or whatever. But the fact, I mean, she's a babe. The fact that she couldn't get a date from some other guy than a police officer who's like 50, and then effing this guy, this dork, Corey. I was like, this is the most unrealistic part of this story. Why is she dating this guy? This makes no sense to me.
I think that's the part that they're trying to like say like she's stuck in this town, so like the best thing she can do in that town is the creepy greasy cop guy, and then the other survivor who she can trauma bond with, or who she can feel like can understand her. So that's why she's like attracted to Corey or whatever. But like, I don't know like what the deal, like the point where he becomes like a badass or whatever, and like has a motorcycle and like is like the bad boy or whatever, and like she's like totally drawn into it. It's like not a 180, but like it's like a sharp like decline where she's like, oh yeah, I hate my job. I'm totally gonna leave town with him, and we're gonna burn this town down or whatever. It's like
I'll light the match.
Yeah.
So bad. I still just can't believe that happened. And then they're sitting on like the roof of this radio tower or whatever. I was just like, what is going on? This is so bad.
Yeah.
But I was here for it. So
I was so surprised I was here for it. I think as far as some of the messy stuff went, I thought Laurie kind of sort of didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like in Halloween, like the 2018 one, she's like if Kevin McAllister grew up and never changed.
Yeah. It's a good point.
And Halloween Kills is literally the same night. So she's the exact same person. So that to 4 years later, and Michael's actually still on the loose after having killed her daughter.
Yes.
And like 70 of her friends.
Yeah.
She buys a house in town and writes memoirs. And it's like, I understand doing that with the character. Maybe if Michael was presumed dead at the last one.
Exactly.
But you saw what he did last time he came back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because I read like a little article about, because I think today or something, Jamie Lee Curtis announced that like she's like done playing Laurie Strode, like it's just done. Like even if
As
they
she
do
should
make another
be.
one, she's
Yeah.
not coming back. But she wrote something like, it's nice that the character could have like years of grief counseling and like therapy and whatever. And I think that's kind of the explanation for her character in ends is like in those 4 years, Laurie just like learned to kind of heal normally or like got help instead of like
Nerd.
trying to get ready for Michael coming back or whatever.
Bottle it up like the rest of us. Come on. Be interesting.
Build a death trap house and be interesting.
Exactly. Come on. Build that panic room under the kitchen. Come on, that's way more interesting. But yeah, I mean, I get why they went that direction with her. But you know, whatever. The fans got what they wanted. The last 20 minutes they had the fight scene with Laurie and Michael, which was really good. Honestly, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it until when she just like very solemnly slit his throat and wrist.
And like holding his hand.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
That felt weird. I don't know why. I literally, because there was like another vision thing with their eyes. And and the music happened, and then out of nowhere, Allison literally runs in and breaks his arm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Wow.
And I turned to my best friend and I said, "What just happened?" And he goes, "I don't know. Like something changed, right?" Like it literally felt like something changed. In those last 10 pages of the script, but that.
Okay, so one more note before we talk about the very end. One thing that I saw coming that I knew was going to happen but didn't is I thought Corey Cunningham was going to have that Joker type storyline where he like dreamed the whole thing up, where like the part with him and Allie, and I thought I was like, that's all in his head. This is not actually happening. This is all fake, and he's gonna snap towards the end, and he's gonna realize that like she's never met him before or something like that, and then he's gonna start killing everybody. But no, the whole thing actually happened. I'm glad they didn't go that route, but that's what I thought.
I mean, you could think that by how bad the dialogue was and how rushed that whole relationship felt.
It was so insane. Okay, so the last part, Laurie kills Michael, and Allie comes in and breaks his arm. When Laurie's getting choked out to death, and she's about to just say, F it, I'm going with you or whatever. The whole town throws a funeral for him. Oren, you want to walk through that? Is it your favorite part?
So it is my favorite part because it's awesome. It's just terrible and bad. But so they kill Michael, and like all the cops show up, whatever, at the scene, and like they strap him to the hood of her car, and like they just start driving down the middle of the town. And then cars start following. People in the town start walking with the cars, and there's a whole.
It was like all the kids in Rocky that start joining him as he's running.
Yeah,
there's that one guy though that goes, "This isn't how we do this." And the sheriff,
the cool sheriff,
it is tonight.
With his enormous cowboy hat goes, "Tonight it
that gets
is."
bigger with every movie.
Okay, finish. Where do they go?
So they go to the junkyard where Corey worked or whatever, and they quickly clean up the crime scene where those kids were and got rid of the truck and whatever, so there's no dead bodies around.
Forgot about that.
I noticed that when I was watching with my fiance. I was like, she mentioned that. I was like, they clean up that crime scene quick. It's like there's nothing there.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's so funny. Just hours before.
Threw them through the grinder as well.
Yeah. They walk up to the large industrial like grinder that you like crush cars in, whatever. And Laurie just lowers Michael down into the grinder, and everybody just watches and dies. Like that's it. I mean, he's like crushed.
Bob's like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Michael Myers. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna like finally like he's dead, he can't come back. This is how you do it. Just throw him in a grinder.
Yeah. Yep. But that's what I thought they did for 2018. It was like, well, he burned down with the house. How did he
Yeah,
survive?
right.
His body parts are gonna start crawling away.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's a real Friday the 13th part, like, 9 for sure. But yeah, man, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I understand objectively why it's a really bad movie.
Mhm.
But for me, it was so fun, and it was inspired by one of my favorite Stephen King books and movies. So I was like, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I'll watch it like every year, every other year for Halloween.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
expected to completely not like it,
Mhm.
and really enjoyed it for a reason I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be the one that people remember a lot from this trilogy.
Yeah.
Whether or not the majority of people want it to be
Mhm.
the one remembered, it's gonna be, the new season of The Witch or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
It's
Totally.
weird. It's just weird.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they went in an interesting route with it. Like, I definitely didn't expect the whole Corey apprentice, like Michael Myers Jr. thing or whatever, and
Yeah.
like learning from him or whatever. Like, they went in an interesting route with it, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was bad, it was uneven, but it's still fun.
Yeah. A dissatisfying ending to a trilogy that has been built up, you know, huge, but
Yeah.
still a fun Halloween sequel in its own right.
A friend
Yeah.
asked me if I liked it, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I really did." And he said, "Was it a satisfying ending?" And I said, "Okay, well, I don't know if I go that."
No, definitely not. And I understand why some fans just had the worst time ever. But,
Yeah.
whatever. It was a good time. I had a good time. That's what I'm here for. So,
Yeah,
well, cool. Dylan, dude, thanks for coming on, talk about the movie. Any last
for
any
sure.
last thoughts about this? Either of
From
you
me?
guys? Any last thoughts about the movie?
Go see it. If you can, go see it in a theater, or if not, just watch on Peacock, which
Watch it
what
on
I did.
Peacock.
So
Watch it on
yeah,
Peacock.
My last thoughts are: I hope Halloween actually ended.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
Just
Halloween; it's my
be done.
favorite. And it has to end sometime.
Yeah. Yes, I really
Yeah.
hope it. I hope that that's it. We have enough movies to watch for eternity. So,
Yeah,
well, heck
where's that
yeah.
LeBron James produced Friday the 13th movie?
Let's go. That's what I'm here
Yeah,
for.
that's what I'm waiting for.
Yes. Oh God, just hope that it's got to be better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre from
Oh yeah,
2022 or whatever. Let's not even talk about that,
yeah.
but we can if you guys want to. I'm just kidding. Dylan, did you watch it?
I have not watched that new one. Yeah, I just didn't. I
You're
didn't.
good.
When in the trailer when he's standing on a bus for some reason, and there's someone live
Everybody's
streaming him for some
yeah.
reason, and they
Yeah.
said you're canceled, bro. And then the next shot was that person just getting chainsawed. I was like, this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it was so bad. That one was just so bad. I can't believe that they're gonna make, they're gonna follow up with that story. Aren't they gonna make a sequel to that?
Yeah, I think
so, yeah.
I do remember him saying that. Yeah.
Or a trilogy or something insane like that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I hope not.
It's hilarious. Honestly. They kill, what's her name? Sally from the original movie. She's in it for like
Oh, yeah.
2 seconds.
And
She's
it's not
literally
even
Laurie
that
Strode.
She comes in for like a Laurie Strode type like character and dies.
Yeah,
So.
she gets chainsawed in half. She has this
Yeah.
whole like this this really bad cheesy like line that she says right before she kills him, and then just gets chopped in half. We're like, that was kind of
the
awesome.
trailer was giving off Laurie Strode 2018.
Oh,
vibes.
absolutely.
I've been waiting for it, and I'm
100%. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. But go check out that movie. That's fun. But yeah, Halloween ends. Does it end? We'll see.
Hopefully.
Yeah, check it out. Watch it on Peacock. You don't have to go to the theater, but you can if you want to. All right, Dylan, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's all I got. Oren, thanks.
All right.
I'm going to post this tonight.
All right, cool.
Sick. I'll
Sick.
share.
All right. Dope. All
All
right,
right.
later, guys.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.